Hi everybody, this is Leah O'Neill. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm also known as sunny.leah on Instagram, and I am a member of the creative team for Simple Stories. Today I'm going to be showing you a tutorial for how to make a pocket folder insert for your traveler's notebook. This traveler's notebook is from the Simple Stories. It's a Carpe Diem, the Cream Blossom one. So I want to make a pocket for this. Now you're gonna laugh at this because it's so practical. I like to decorate my pockets. Now I tuck a few functional items in there, a couple paper clips, sticky notes, things that I often will pull out to use to decorate further into my traveler's notebook, or like whether it's planner pages or memory keeping pages, whatever. I do eventually get use out of these pieces here. However, primarily right now it's decorational, right? So I've got a few practical items. Sometimes I tuck stickers in here and a few journal cards. I'm using this little insert that I got off of Amazon to kind of tuck some more journaling cards and ephemera that I use for decorating on the go. I've got a few doilies in there. So I find myself wanting to carry more stickers and journal cards like this for on-the-go planning and creating. And I am currently using my pockets for these decorational items. Again, like I said, very practical. So what I want to do is I want to make a quick pocket insert to tuck into this traveler's notebook that can actually fit some of my 4x6 sticker sheets and stuff. So let's jump right into that, okay? All right, well, let's talk supplies first. I'm using the Simple Stories Romance collection, but you can use a couple of 12x12 papers of your choice. I might decorate with some of those stickers, so I'm going to keep them nearby. I have a couple of pieces of vellum. I want to use some vellum to make my pockets. You can get it at any arts and crafts store or online. Some decorative washi tape. And I got these at Michael's. They're just little pom-pom ribbons. I'm definitely wanting to use some of this to decorate my pocket with. I haven't decided on which color yet. This red line tape is super sticky. There is nothing else like it. This is the 1/4 inch tape. It's a red backing. It's actually a super transparent tape, and it's super sticky. It just works. I cannot make my pockets without it. It's just the perfect tool to be able to make pockets. So I will link all of these products below. I have a ruler, some scissors, and a cutting board. Now, a couple optional, well, you need some adhesive, an adhesive roller just to decorate if you need to, but it's not actually necessary. And then optional things are a corner rounder, if you want to round the edges, the corners of your pocket. And I also have a single hole punch that I didn't show here that I'll show you at the end, something you can do with that. That's very optional. So I'm choosing the 12x12 papers that I want to work with. It's mostly going to be these two. These cut apart sheets, they were 12x12 papers, and I cut them apart. When I get a new collection, I just go ahead and cut them apart. And the ones that have the journal cards that are horizontal layout work really well for pockets. So I pulled a couple out that I might use. So first things first, I need to cut my paper down. I'm using a traveler's notebook insert that fits in the notebook that I have. I will have measurements in the instructions, but I mean, I do not measure things like that. I'm not precise at all. I would recommend using a pencil here just in case you need to erase it and mess up, but you know, I'm going for it. So I'm cutting this paper down to size. This is going to be the outside, the paper that's, yeah, there you go. There's the outside. And I love that scripty font. And then I thought, how cute would this be to make a pocket? The pocket width on the inside. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to cut out one section of the lace. And then right here I'm using my cutting board to cut right up to where the flower is. And then I'm going to fussy cut around the flower just so that it's a fun little addition to the pocket. I'm not worried about cutting out those tiny little flowers. That's too much work. But you see how it just kind of sticks up? I love how that looks. So I'm going to trim this one down too. And now I'm going to use that red line tape. It's very thin, to put on the back to line the edges of my pocket. Now, you want to go pretty slow with this because once you stick it down, it's quite sticky. It's not going to want to come up. So take your time with this part. I recommend not doing what I'm about to do, where I'm taking it all off. I would recommend taking off just the one edge first and sticking that down before you pull off all the tape, because you risk catching your paper. But I'm taking a risk here. It worked out okay. So you can cut right there in the crease if you want to. I didn't feel the need to do that. Now I want to create a pocket on the outside of this paper using the vellum. I love how the vellum really softens that color. I just find that to be the vellum to be a nice romantic touch to a very romantic, lovely collection. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting this vellum down to be the same size as my pocket. Again, I'm not measuring anything, but I will try to include those measurements for you in the instructions. So what I want to do here, you can make your pockets, the top of your pockets, really any shape that you want. What I would like to do on the front, again, this is something I would never normally measure, but because I'm making a video, I just wanted to be a little bit more precise. But normally I would just center the dot like by eye, and then I would use a straight edge here to do what I'm doing, just to kind of connect the sides to make sure the pockets, the edges of the pocket are kind of lined up on both sides. And then on the back side, I'm actually going to choose a different shape to make my pocket with, just a diagonal. Now I opened it up so I can make sure that diagonal meets there at the top of the other side of the pocket. So I'm using my paper trimmer here, but feel free to use just your scissors, because you don't need, sorry about the camera, I bumped it. Don't worry about having imperfect edges here, because I'm going to be covering it with washi tape. So it's not a big deal if you don't cut quite evenly, or if that black pen is still showing, although I did recommend that you use pencil so you don't have to take that risk. You don't have to add washi tape. I just like doing it. So I love how the gold looks with the vellum. It's a really pretty compliment. So I'm taking some gold washi tape here and trying to line it up in the same place. I'm kind of putting half of it on the vellum and half of it not on the vellum. It's because I'm just going to fold it over. Now, there are ways to do this more precisely where you don't have to worry about that gap in the middle, but I don't care about that because I just cover it up with a sticker or an embellishment or a button. There's so many things you can use to just put there in the center, and it looks cute. So I'm playing with these embellishments. I cut these flowers out of a 12 by 12 paper in the romance collection. I fussy cut out these flowers, and I really want to use them here. So now I'm trying to figure out, I love the butterfly there. I could have just left that. I really love it. But I ended up deciding on a heart instead. In the past, I've made very similar pockets, and I put a little button there, and it was the cutest thing. So I'm just double checking my other stickers to see if there's anything else I might want to use. But I settle on the heart that says love story. And now I'm just making sure everything, I don't know why it wouldn't fit okay. I just kind of wanted to see how it would go. So this tape is very transparent. I use it under vellum all the time, and you'll see whenever I go to stick it down, it really doesn't show through the vellum at all. I like using this tape whenever I do shaker pockets as well for that same reason. It's super sticky. You don't have to worry about it the pocket coming off. It doesn't take much of the edge, so there's still a very roomy amount of space in the pocket. And then this is a washi tape from the Romance collection that I'm just putting on the edge there of the other side. And now I'm doing things a little more carefully, like I suggested earlier. And I'm going to just do one edge first to line it up. Because again, it's very sticky. I cannot reiterate that enough. You really want to make sure you get your placement right. All right. And I was a little off with my measurement there, so that's what happens when you don't actually measure anything. So I just trimmed the edge off, no big deal. So I'm going to keep it pretty simple and just adhere this flower, and I'm trying to get glue onto all the little pieces so I don't have to worry about them coming off of the page and getting torn up. You can use any glue for that. That's just a little Scotch double-sided adhesive. I'm just deciding if I want to decorate that pocket, but I actually leave it as is on the back. So this is optional, totally don't have to do it. It's a little, that was an inch circle punch, and I just kind of created that little groove there, but totally not necessary. And then I'm rounding the corners of my pocket. It looks just as cute with them, with the sharper corners in my opinion, but it's just, I just felt like doing a rounded corner. And this is a quick little tip. You can use a little single hole punch to cut a half circle on there, and it just helps the pocket, the elastic in your traveler's notebook fits right into that groove and just helps keep it in place. But I love how cute this is, and like that's a good 8 sheets, sticker sheets that I just put inside there, and I've got so much room, like it will fit so much in there. See, I'm just like loading it up. So you can fit quite a bit of stuff in there. So I just put it in there to see how it looks. But now I'm going to take that pom-pom ribbon and line the inside edge with it. This is a fun way to have something cute just kind of peeking out of the edge of your traveler's notebook. So the red line tape, because it's so sticky, is really perfect for sticking down ribbon as well. Like I've used regular glue for the ribbon, and it can work if you have a really good glue, but I just think this tape, man, you stick it down and it stays put. So I'm just lining the edge of my pocket insert. And then because there's a bigger gap in between those pom-poms, when I go to line up I want to put it on the other side as well. But I'm going to try to line it up so that the pom-poms on the other side go in between the ones on the side I just stuck down. One thing I didn't really mention before, but with that red line tape, you know, before you take the backing off, it's always nice to run your finger over it to really make sure it's stuck down really well. Not that I question that it is, but it's just for good measure. All right. And then this is optional. I really like how that looks by itself, but if you want to, you can use a washi tape just to kind of cover the edge of that ribbon. Just using this is a skinny washi tape that was back from the old Simple Stories Reset Girl collection. All right, and that's pretty much the whole pocket. It's gonna look super cute inside my traveler's notebook with the little pom-poms sticking out. And they're so flexible, so you really don't have to worry about them brushing up on anything or falling off. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, ask below. I'll have the instructions written down in the description box below, the written ones with the measurements. Please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you back for the next video. Happy creating!